Good evening, champions. Welcome to tonight's edition of the Motivation to Elevation Facebook Live podcast. It's yours truly, Arian Tyson here, sitting in my office here in St. Louis. It's a privilege and honor to be before you tonight. If you have already done so, happy Valentine's Day to those that celebrate it. It's kind of a fake holiday, but nevertheless, I trust that you were able to share this day with your loved ones or someone that's special in your life. And we're going to get this going. Got a special topic for you all, being that it's Valentine's Day, and it was something that I was asked to talk about. And I'll dive into that. So let me know who's on tonight, and let me know how your day went. Hey, what's up, cuz? Happy Valentine's Day to you too. Love you too. Hey, Kim, how you doing, sis? Let these people know I'm on live. Hey, what's up here? Happy Valentine's Day to you too. See, my internet is trying to trip, but I'm not gonna let it stop me. Yeah. No problem, cuz. No problem. Right. Hey, champions. Welcome to tonight's edition of the Motivation to Elevation Facebook Live podcast. It is Valentine's Day 2017. My name is Arian Tyson. I am sitting here live back home in St. Louis, sitting in my office. And, I want to just first off say thanks to everyone who took time out of their day Saturday to wish me a happy birthday. For those that are just hopping on, or for those that either did not know or forgot, my birthday was Saturday, and I had a chance to travel down to Memphis, Tennessee. The weather was absolutely phenomenal in the M-Town this past weekend. It almost hit 80 degrees while I was down there. And for it to be February and it be that warm, you would think I was in Miami or somewhere, but I was in Memphis. So it was just a 4-hour drive, and the weather was just amazing all weekend long. And I had a chance to just really just get out of town and just to relax and have fun and, just really, be thankful to see another year. I'm glad to see age 33 go. That is really a year I would like to forget, but unfortunately it's a year I will never forget for a lot of different reasons, most of which are not good, but they are character building, and it's just going to strengthen me and help me become a better me. Having said all that, tonight's topic is really based on a comment that I got on a video I did a couple weeks ago and post to YouTube. And someone asked me, I've never met this person, but they've subscribed to me on YouTube. And they asked the question about if I could do a video where I could speak to women and inform them on how to know if they are just a man's convenience versus one he truly loves and wants to be with. So I said, I'm going to wait till Valentine's Day, being that this is the quote unquote love day, and really dive into that. And so if you get value out of what I'm sharing, and what I'm sharing is based on my own life experience, and there are going to be moments where I really get transparent, because there have been some things that I'm not going to talk about here that have occurred, that have been brought to my attention, that do not sit well with me. However, nevertheless, I'm going to do what I do, because that's what you all are here for. You're here to get this value that has been laid on my heart to provide. And so that's my intention. So let's dive in. So I want to ask the question, are you the real deal, or are you just a placeholder? And here's why I say this, because people get things twisted, especially when it comes to relationships. Here's what I would tell anyone. If you're dating someone who makes you question your relationship status constantly, it's time to ask yourself some questions. Because you deserve someone who wants to be with you and only you. Now that does not mean, and I'm speaking from the male standpoint, he sacrifices relationships. He does not sacrifice relationships already established. And I apologize for, I don't know why my internet is acting up, but we're going to soldier on anyway. When a person wants to be with you and only you, that doesn't mean that they sacrifice friendships and relationships that they've already established. And I'm explain why later. Having said all that, I want to share with you some signs that to know that a man sees you as a placeholder and not the real deal. Here are some signs. And if I'm right, ladies, because it's mostly ladies watching. If I'm right, let me know in the comment section, because I'm speaking as a man. And you all can vouch for me on this. Yeah, the devil is a lie. My internet will act right. Here are some signs that I've noticed just from my own life experience. The first one I would say is that if a man tells you that he's always busy, that is a sign that he sees you as a placeholder. Now, mind you, as someone who is not lazy, and I'm talking about myself, there are times where I'm busy. However, when a person is really into you, they make time for you. They make you a priority. And they are careful not to put any female above you. Unless especially like if you have a ring on it. However, here's what I know. A person that's into you wants to spend a lot of time with you, but does not want to spend all their time with you. And you have to be careful, because I know a lot of people, women especially, who expect to spend all of their time with their man. Not only is that asinine, that is not even reality. That's not even realistic. And absolutely, they make you a priority and not an option. You are priority. And the truth of the matter is, you're absolutely right. People make time for the things that they want to do. And this applies to any type of relationship, friendships, family, marriages, etc. If they want to do something bad enough, they will find the time and find the energy to get it done, period. That's just not up for debate. If he's busy, he has to be able to make time for you. Because one of my favorite stand-ups is Morton's You So Crazy. And he talked about, there was a part in that stand-up where he talked about a woman dealing with a guy that was not spending time with her. And he begged her to, spend time with me, spend some quality time with me. And he just blew her off. And some of you all probably remember he said, he would say, sorry, I had told Craig and them, I'm going to kick it with them. Gotta go. See you when I see you. And it just kept coming. It just kept happening until it got to the point where she got sick and tired of being sick and tired. And then she managed to come across somebody who was willing to give her the time that this guy was not willing to give her. And of course, we get mad. Of course, a man is going to get mad when he find out that stuff hits the fan. But the fact is, nobody's blameless. You have to learn how to take responsibility for the part that you play in it. And anytime people don't take responsibility for action and a role in it. Also, what's another sign? Another sign would be if he does not introduce you to your friends and family. That's a huge one. Because if a man is serious about you, he's going to bring you around the people that are closest to him. He's going to introduce you to his best friend. He's going to bring you around his mother or his family if he's serious about you. But if you're just a placeholder to him, you'll never get to meet them. Chances are you will never get to meet them. You'll probably hear a couple of stories about them, but they'll never meet you. That's another sign. And then another sign, and I just believe that this is just absolutely garbage. And this goes for men and women. But because the question that I'm answering was posed to me by a woman, I'm speaking from the male experience because I'm a male. I'm a man. Another red flag, another sign that he's really not into you or he really is not serious about you is if he won't open up to you. Now, here's the thing. If we live long enough, all of us get hurt by a member of the opposite sex. There's no way around it. You could do everything right. You can be the greatest man or the greatest woman. And all it takes is for you to come across somebody who claims to be down for you, but their actions don't line up. they treat you as an option, but you treat them as a priority. Are you with me? The problem with that is karma is real. Whatever they do is going to come back on them. Whatever you do, however you respond, is going to come back on you. And you will be held accountable for it, no matter what it is. No matter how small you may think it is, or no matter how big you may think it is. You will be held accountable for everything, every decision, every action or inaction that you take. If you have tried to ask him about his past and he's hesitant to talk about it, he probably has problems letting people in. Which means that something has happened to him that apparently he does not feel comfortable enough to talk to you about. If a person is really for you, if a person is really feeling you, if a person is really down for you, that excuse goes out the window. That excuse goes out the window. No matter what happens, when a person is really for you, they will put their pride to the side, and they will make themselves vulnerable. They will show a side of themselves that no other person has probably seen. If they really care about you and if they really love you. I'm not telling you something I heard. I'm not telling you something that I read in a book. I'm telling you something that I know to be true for myself. And I'm willing to stand on it with everything in me. Period. Another sign that a guy is not really into you. He does not see you as a long-term plan or a long-term investment. Is if he texts you and never calls you. And if I'm telling the truth, let me know in the comments section. But I already know I'm telling the truth. And the reason that I say that is a sign, that is a red flag, so to speak, is because when you call somebody, when a guy calls a woman, it shows effort. It shows effort. It shows effort when your guy does more than shoot you a quick text. It also shows his willingness to become transparent when he can openly tell you what he's up to with his voice rather than hiding behind written words. I'm just saying. Every now and then, a text is going to suffice, but not all the time. Because sometimes you need to hear that voice. And men, we feel the same way when it comes to the ladies in our life. We need to hear their voice, because you never know what they're going through. You never know what they may be going through at that particular moment. And what better thing to do than to hear the voice of the person that you love? What's another sign? And like I said, if you're getting value, let me know. And I'm doing my best to work around why my internet tripping. But nevertheless, I'm going to move forward. Got a couple more. Another sign is, and this is a huge one, and I kind of alluded to it earlier, is when he leaves you out of his future plans. A person that's really for you, a person that really wants to be with you, they make plans. They tell you they have plans for you. They envision they envision you in their life in the next year, in the next 5 years, in the next 10 years, etc., etc. Everything that they're looking to accomplish, they have with you in mind. They can picture you being right beside them. And when a man talks about events in the future, it's his responsibility to include you in his plans. Now, if you're the placeholder or if you're the counterfeit, when he talks about events in the future, he rarely includes you in them. He should be thinking about the future of the both of you as a couple too, whether it's you're dating and you all become exclusive, or you move from being exclusive to becoming engaged, or you moving from being engaged to becoming married, or even when you're married, you moving from, maybe you're moving from an apartment to looking to buy a house together. You have to have some type of progression. And that if that man really loves you, that man is going to talk about the progression. He's going to talk about the future, and everything in his future plans includes you. So if you're not getting that, that's a sign. That's a problem. Another thing is he avoid all forms of affection in public. Now, I can only speak for me on this. I'm an affectionate person. I believe that affection is important in a relationship. And when you're not ashamed of the person that you're with, you show it openly in public. Now, I don't mean like y'all, groping each other in public, because some things are just meant to be behind closed doors. But if he's not flirting with you, if he's not smacking you on the behind, or, y'all not play fighting, or, he's not, kissing you, or, whispering stuff, sweet nothings in the ear and so on and so forth, then he has no interest in you full time. You're just a counterfeit. You're just a placeholder. And it is what it is. The thing about it is, some guys don't like to show a lot of affection in public. And that's okay. But if he won't even put his arm around you, if he won't even put his arm around you in public, or squeeze your hand, if he won't even do that, or even hold your hand while you all are walking somewhere, he's being too standoffish. He's really not interested in you. And chances are he might just enjoy what you may have to offer behind closed doors. And I'll leave that at that, because we all adults, you all know what that means. If a guy cancels their plans often with you, you're a placeholder. He's not serious about you, because it's inconsiderate of you and your feelings to ditch plans. He should be considerate of your schedule. Everything should not be made or done based on his time. When you are really into somebody, you make time for them. It doesn't matter if you working all type of hours. When that woman is a priority, you have to do what you have to do in order to keep that woman satisfied. Because otherwise, she is going to find somebody that's going to do what you are not willing to do. And fellas, because I know it's fellas on her watching, Some are married, some are not. The fact is, what we did when we were dating the ladies that we're with, we have to do the same thing even when we get married. We don't get time off. We can't say, well, you know how I feel about you. You have to keep doing it. No matter how unfair you may think it is, you have to keep doing it. You have to date your woman during the dating stage. You have to date your woman in the engagement stage. You definitely have to date your woman in the married stage. You have to. No matter how unfair, no matter how egregious you may think it is. Trust me, I know. You have to do it. You have to do it. Because you can't get complacent. You can't get in this zone to where you become comfortable. Because when a woman looks at you and can tell that you're comfortable, that's when all hell breaks loose, because she feels like she's being taken for granted. And if I'm lying, ladies, tell me I'm lying. But I know I'm not, because there are too many people that I've talked to that have voiced their displeasure about that issue. So I'm speaking what I know. And then finally, I would say another sign is if he doesn't take the time to get to know you. That's huge. Because I don't care who you are, male, female, everyone deserves respect. Everyone deserves to feel important. And the person that you're with, the person you're seeing, should want to get to know you. And if they don't want to get to know you, male or female, they're not worth it. They want to know about the things that you've gone through. They want to know about your likes, your dislikes, your fears, if you have any. What you want to do with your life and how they could be supportive of your dreams. But as someone who can attest to this, fellas, you can do all that and it still not be good enough. Speaking from experience, you can do all that. You could listen to all the signs that I point to. And you could say to yourself, I don't have to worry about any of that, because I know that I handle my business in all those areas. It still sometimes ain't good enough. One thing I know, and the reason that I said that everybody deserves someone, every woman deserves a man that wants to be with them and only them. But I also said earlier that does not mean that he sacrificed relationships established, because you all need time apart. How can you miss your mate if you're never away from your mate? And one thing that I know fellas get tired of doing is telling a female what they want to hear. For example, a woman will ask a man, did you miss me? Now, realistically, fellas, we really didn't miss her because she really wasn't gone that long. Like maybe an hour. Okay. Realistically, that's not long enough to be missed. Now, if you go away for a couple days or something like that, yes, you should be missed. Or if you haven't seen or heard from them all day and they decide to go out with their girlfriends, to me, I've seen women get rid of all they female friends for a dude. I've seen dudes get rid of all of their male friends, all of their female friends for that female. And to me, now, unless you all were intimate, that's one thing. But you should never have to sacrifice all of your friendships or all of your relationships just to make someone else feel secure. Because if they are that insecure, the issue is not with you. The issue is with them. That they have an issue that they have not dealt with. And they really have no business being in a relationship because they're setting themselves up for failure because they are clinging to unrealistic expectations. At no point should you have to give up every relationship. Some you have to give up because there's jealousy, envy there, and so on and so forth. But not all of them. Not all of them. And I've been in situations in the past where they never actually came out and said, I have a problem with you having female friends, but their actions show it. And as someone who is very loyal, if I've never been involved with these people, and I've known them long enough to where I consider them family, there's no way in the world I'm cutting them off just to make somebody else feel comfortable when I know I'm handling my business everywhere else. And some people have walked away. However, I'm still here, and the fact is, what don't kill you make you stronger. So that's what I meant, that you don't have to sacrifice you should not have to sacrifice your relationships. You have to have other relationships. Not that they get in your business, but so that you have your balance, because nobody wants to spend all of their time with their mate. Nobody, they don't. You have to be able to have that time where, ladies, you should be able to go out with your female friends, or you should be able to go hang out and do stuff outside of, your couple time, outside of quality time with your mate. What you must be careful of, and I'll say this in closing, what you must be careful of is to make sure that those other relationships don't take precedence, that it doesn't take precedence over the relationship that you're in now. So even though you may have known people for 15 or 20 years or so, when you're in a relationship with that person, with a person, those other relationships are secondary. And we should be able to enjoy ourselves as a couple and individually, because they say absence makes the heart grow fonder. Well, the heart can't go fonder if you're not absent. It can't. So enjoy the time that you have with your mate, but also enjoy the time when, you off doing your own thing. Just make sure that you don't neglect the person that you're with. Because, as they say, what one person won't do, another person will. So I want to wrap this up. I wanted to talk about that because as I said earlier, I was asked the question as far as to break down if a man, how to know if a man just looks at you as a convenience or if they really are really feeling you or really into you. And so I trust that I gave some pointers, that I shared some wisdom based on things that I learned. Most of it I learned the hard way. Most of it I learned through observation. And if you got value from it, feel free to let me know. Feel free to share this video. And I apologize for the technical difficulties. I don't know why my internet is kind of tripping. So I might have froze from time to time, but I did make sure that I hit on everything that I wanted to talk about. And I will be back next Tuesday, 9:30 p.m. Eastern, 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, on the next edition of the Motivation to Elevation Facebook Live podcast. Until then, lovers, enjoy the rest of y'all Valentine's night. Just remember, don't limit the love that you have for somebody to one day, especially a day that's overrated. You should be able to show love to your mate 365 days a year, or 366 if it's a leap year. So I'll talk to you all soon. Good night.